Wow, did you hear that? All right, let's put it into run mode. Is it gonna start? Of course it's gonna start. This is a piece of copper bus, 400 amp bus right here that has been extended a little bit to meet up with the demand of this starter. But here it is, and it's all hooked up and ready to, I'm very excited. I want to hear what this thing sounds like. Big choice. I mean, a big deal. I'm told this is a reduction gear starter. It looks like it could be that. So let's see what it sounds like. I have checked the gears. They are clear. Let's try it. Anyway, I need to move along and find a wrench. That's all I need to do is find a wrench for the starter. That's my last project, really, for the new owner. And again, to everyone, the interior of this bus is going to have to be designed and put in by the next owner. And I want to talk to folks that are interested. Okay, we need to go find a wrench to get the starter out with, or what we're going to have to do to get these 3 bolts. Everything's undone now. The cables. This is a hot cable, and I'm not. Yeah, you know what's real? I'm realizing this right here is the cable from the alternator. Look at this. What size is this? I need to absolutely, before I start calling wolf, see what this cable size is, because it could just be a great big. But this is a 2-aught cable here, and I see this is a neoprene welding cable, and it's along it somewhere. We'll look. That's no big deal. But what I want is a wrench. These are 12-point, so we need to work on these right here. I've got 3 of them holding the starter in. There's one right up there, and then there's one right down here, right there. Now again, this is a starter that has given me no reason to cuss it ever. Nothing, not a hitch in the way that this piece right here has operated for me. And it's not like I used it every day and we hauled thousands of customers or anything like that. Through the period of 7,500 or 7,300 miles, however many times you would stop and start the engine in that kind of mileage, hey, that's what this thing did, and some, just for sporting. So this is a piece that I will feel better if I know that it's got the brushes are good in it and that kind of thing, so that it will continue operating. Grease on the bearings if at all possible. There's just nothing wrong with the starter system in this, but let's keep it that way. That's all I'm saying. We got to keep it that way, because boy howdy. No. Just certain things that have to work, and the starter is one of them. Definitely. 33 years I haven't seen inside that starter. Nobody has. I haven't had it in for service or anything. So I think that this is a very good idea, is to bring this thing out, see if I can uncover it. I noticed that it looks to me like I can replace this with a brand new starter for less than $500. Remade in China or something, I don't know. Brand new's brand new, whatever. This one, we'll see. I think this can just be fixed. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just to get it cleaned out, looked at, look at the brushes, get the dust out of it from the brush that's worn out already. The brushes that are past, there's no way out of it for there, so you need to blow that out so it'll be clean. And a little grease in the bearings, and the starter is just about ready to come out. I have one bolt left in it. The top, this one right here is out, and the bottom one is out, and we have this one, but it's sort of interfering with my drain. My drain is maybe interfering. I need to prop this up to right about there, and that way it'd be completely out of the way while we worked. I believe this is the 5/8 here. Is it not? Yeah, yes it is. Okay, we're gonna go. I believe this one can go in here like this to do us a great deal of good, and there it is. I mean, it is just ready to, so I need to prop it up so that'll come out, and you can see that the case is splitting right there, right along there. And so we are close to dropping this down. I can't do this and hold on to the hold on to the camera. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out, and then we'll get back to it and have a look-see at it. See what needs to be done to make it look and operate. Well, you know, to renew it. That's what needs to happen to this. That'll make whoever's driving it feel a lot better than having a 33 year. Oh, it's been 33 years. You bought it 33 years ago and it's an old den. Man, that starter probably just ready to give out. You're going to get out of town about 250 miles, stop to get a hamburger, and the thing won't start. No. That's not a proper scenario here. All right, I'll get back with you. Let me get this thing lowered down a little bit. Okay, let me make sure there's no little high spots that are gonna cause me grief when I'm trying to get this thing completely flush. What am I hitting? I feel like I'm hitting some, that's for sure. Little things that don't need to be there. I don't know. Huh. Wow, what's that? Wow, that's a sort of a rust spot. Or some, that's from those where the are those high? I don't know what they are. They sure are high. Wow. I don't know what to make of that. Does the starter loose and wore into its position here? What in the world? Why are those high like that? Boy, howdy, those are all high. What do I have that could take that down? Boy, howdy, his starter was loose. I mean, not my starter, but not this time around, but there was a time when the starter was loose on this baby. Got good teeth on it. One of those got good teeth. This wasn't really hard to, I don't know if this is going to, let's see, it would be, well, it'll be out this way a ways, it looks like to me. I don't know, let's just try to get it over there and up into the position. I don't know why I made the decision to do this, other than a starter is not a fun thing out on a trip, especially where you're at, where somebody you can't just go to the local farm rebuilder and get a starter. Let's see, what am I going to do here? That's the big, I need two big ones, the big one at the top, and it sure looks to me the big one at the top is going to go in over there. Well, let's see where it sits, see if we can get it up in there. This is lighter. This is another thing about the reduction gear starter. Man, it's lighter. That other one is pretty heavy. What the hell? This starter's got to be good for many a year. I'm not sure how it will do in the equivalent time from 1976 as the other starter did from the last time it was rebuilt, but nevertheless, fine piece. Okay, let's poke this up in there, and they tell me it will go. Well, let's just see. Will it go in there? Sure does. It sure do. Okay. Well, let's, I guess this is the easiest one to get right now. Well, okay. All right, let's get another one. Well, I must say, I think I like the way that looks hanging out of there. And I didn't clean in behind it. Oh well. I was going to. I'll have to pull a pop rag or something between it. Whatever. I've decided on no locks as my ante because it's an electrical compound, and this is electric. So doesn't matter to me which one. They both seem to have. I was looking at the lock. Okay, there's a nice liberal amount of no locks electrical compound for dissimilar metals. Well, if that isn't the cat's meow. It looks bad. You can't see much of it from there. Let me get this bolt tight and I'll bring it around. Now that looks sweet when you look in there and you're looking to buy something. You are looking for something that you think's going to run for a while. Anyway, why did I do this? This starter, it's coming with it. There's nothing, you can put that starter in there and it should start this motor right up. I was surprised at the amount of, I'm surprised at the amount of wear there was on the pinion, but then again, that starter, according to its tag, hasn't been rebuilt since 1976. So it's been a fine starter, never gave me a reason to cuss it. You get along with it. I'll put it in some kind of a cardboard or wooden crate. We'll get everything packed up. You can take it with you and you can take it to the junkyard or barter with it or whatever. But for this time around, we're going to see how am I up against anything that I'm not supposed to be? No, it's closing. Gap's closing all the way around. Okay, let's put the small. That's interesting, is that I have a small-headed bolt of the same nature, same size as the other one. The other size would be fine, but I don't know. Spare parts and repairs. Where is that third? Well, there it is. It's out there. Well, by golly, that's a brand new starter sitting in the side of that 8V-71 Detroit. And that gives me the security that I'm not going to have a mad customer at me, because I do rather brag on the dependability of this machine, but it is an old machine, and so it is as is. Where is as is? This was purchased at Durabelt, has a receipt, and it's guaranteed to work. So, and I'm told I need to see this operate. I think it's a reduction gear starter. I think it is. I am so happy with the sound. I have all these scenarios where some new thing that I have bought in the past hasn't been what it should be, but oh, that's really nice. This definitely works. Now, what's feeling warm here? Anything? Nothing? What's warm? This carries the juice down to the starter, and it's, man, there's plenty of juice there. Let's close her up. That's it. I'm done. Comments? I'd appreciate it. And we're getting ready to take this thing on a sort of a family adventure. I'm not sure what we're going to do yet, but I will be shooting some videos on that excursion. I mean, after all, it has a fresh change of oil, filters, fluids in the transmission, checked, brought up, and brand new starter. That's not bad. Not bad. And you are looking at a I haven't put any labor on it, and my labor hasn't been cheap for years, not years and years. They paid me pretty good, but that's not the point. The point is that the only reason that it's as cheap, it's cost me as cheap as it did, is because I didn't have somebody else do it. And this transferred right over. Where it is right now, it it won't conduct. I mean, not at 12 volts. With the water that's in it, it's not going to do it. And it's isolated at both ends, so it's not even a problem. This is the piece that right now I'm still amazed at. What I did here is that I took this 400 amp bus and cut a chunk of it, put a 1/2 inch hole in it, and brought these together, where the old starter had a longer bolt that stuck straight out, didn't have this plastic guard on it. So this plastic piece is a problem for it. So I had to whittle, and man, it's a nice look. Oh, it's a fine piece I made for it. It is indeed. It's tin plated copper. You can't, I mean, there's just, and it's tempered. It is a tough piece. So I am watching it. See, the alternator carries the power to the starter here first, transfers it to this, and then to the batteries. So I have thoughts that I don't. It's one of those things. It's bothered me in the past, because you take it out on the gorge, and I mean, 15 years ago, you'd think a 15-year-old starter would be on your mind sometimes. Yeah, you get it fixed, but it would be better to have a spare. And I thought that starter, I remember it being a lot heavier, I thought, than that, but I don't know why. It's not the first time I've taken a starter off of a 8V-71. And that's a fine piece. Oh, boy, howdy. I went after that. I don't know how much, if I took footage of cleaning up that mounting there. But anyway, I'm tired. I'm dirty. I need a shower. I need to shampoo my hair. And I need to think about how great this starter sounds on this engine. And I'm so pleased because of the condition that we found at the other starter. It's not terrible, but the ends of the gears are blunt, so they're just, and there's a lot less of them. The gears inside the on the bell housing, they have a bluntness to them, but it is such a good ring gear. It's a wonderful, good ring gear on this engine. And you heard it. I played it for you. Yeah, I can't play it because the engine starts too well. I have to leave the fuel off. Wow. Did you hear that? All right, let's put it into run mode. Is it going to start? Of course it's going to start. Voltage regulation. That starter is sweet. Still have to finish working on that relay. I just saw it give me a... That's the absolute last part, is that button on the dash works every time when you put the starter on. It did. It used to. But I know right where it is. It's right here, so we'll get it fixed. And another thing that has to work on this is if the engine running, you cannot engage the starter. I know that's the way it is. I'm going to make sure that works. All right. This is August. Let me know what you think. Again, I'm putting this new starter on there because the old one never did in 33 years give me a reason to cuss it. Looks to me about 7 thousandths on the front bearing. I mean, there's quite a bit. I'm surprised that it did drag the armature. But she was a rolling fine. And it pulled me on the bench. I'd put it back in a heartbeat, a little grease on that front bushing. There wasn't anything wrong with it. There wasn't. But what was wrong with it is it hadn't been looked at in 33 years. So, there's the result, right there. Now there may be just like high torque. Also, man, it sounds like it's running it faster than it did when we were starting. Yes, this is the job done. I don't have to redo this. And I absolutely did my absolute best install with this thing here. Boy, howdy, I'm pleased. I am absolutely pleased with that. Again, this starter is bought via cash from Durabelts on the receipt. Got a year guarantee on it. Sure sounds like I gotta get a year out of it. I love the way that sounds. Man, that sounds... He was telling me, oh, that starter has a port on the side for overspeed. And, oh, that's interesting, for generators or something. Well, these things did so much generator work. Oh, that's exciting. Boy, that sounds good. I might get more enthusiastic about loading that compressor over here now that I have a new starter in this thing. But the starter was a reliability thing. And boy howdy, it sounds beautiful. I have never heard this thing sound like that when it was starting up. So it's not having any trouble at this time. I'm going to be watching this joint right here. That is so nice. And it was easy to put that starter in there. So much lighter. So much lighter than the original starter. Boy, the hot water is flowing. It really does. This thing, before those thermostats ever warm up, the heater's taken over. So I got hot water going out here, out to the heater, and then back. And there's no fans running, so but it's still cooler. I can hold on to this a lot better than I can that, because it took the whole route of the cooling system. Oh, happy day. Well, I've been wondering, you know, when you buy anything new, you buy a piece. Let's turn this engine off. We don't need it. Beautiful. You couldn't ask for a better get out of town without smoking rig than this one. No, sir. Let's get out of town without smoking it down. Wow, did you hear that? All right, let's put it into run mode. Is it going to start? Of course it's going to.